The Interstellar Academy floated in silent space, like a silver city. Long windows showed stars moving slowly outside. Inside, halls were wide and clean. Voices from many species mixed together. This place taught the best minds from hundreds of worlds. Humans were new here, and everyone knew it. Most students believed humans were weak. They came from a small world with simple machines and short history in space. Many teachers agreed, even if they did not say it openly. Humans were watched closely, judged quietly. In one large classroom, rows of curved seats faced a wide teaching platform. Hologram screens hovered in the air, glowing with symbols and charts. The lesson today was called Environmental Survival Theory. It was a high-level class, meant for advanced students only. A human woman named Lena sat near the back. She was small compared to many others. Her skin was pale under the white lights. Her hair was tied back simply. She wore the standard academy uniform. On her desk, there was no tablet open, no notes, no recording device. Around her, other students noticed this. A tall, blue-skinned student leaned toward his friend and whispered, "She is not writing anything." Another replied softly, "Maybe she does not understand." Quiet sounds of amusement spread. Lena did not react. She sat still, eyes forward, listening. At the front, the instructor floated slightly above the floor. He was long and thin, with 3 eyes that blinked at different times. His voice filled the room through soft speakers. Most advanced species fail when exposed to extreme environments, he said. High gravity, unstable weather, aggressive life forms. Only a few worlds produce survivors. A hologram appeared, showing a planet covered in storms. Red warning symbols flashed around it. On this world, the instructor continued, surface gravity crushed bone structure. Native life evolved heavy shells. Off-world explorers lasted less than 1 rotation. Students murmured. Many nodded. This was known information. The instructor changed the image. Another planet appeared, covered in fire and smoke. Here, the atmosphere burned exposed tissue. Chemical storms erased cities in minutes. Again, quiet reactions. She had seen worse images before. These were clean, neat examples. Safe ones. The instructor turned slightly, his eyes scanning the room. One eye paused on Lena. "Human student," he said. "You appear disengaged. Are you having difficulty following the lesson?" All eyes turned toward her. Lena looked up. She did not rush. Her voice was steady. "No," she said. "I am following." "Then why are you not recording the material?" the instructor asked. She thought for a moment. "Because the lesson is incomplete." A ripple of surprise moved through the room. The instructor narrowed one eye. "Incomplete? Explain." "You said most species fail at extreme environments." "That is true, but failure depends on time." The instructor paused. "Clarify." "You measure survival by immediate outcomes," Lena said. "Humans measure it by how long we keep standing." The room grew quiet. One student let out a short laugh. "That is philosophy, not science." Lena turned her head toward the sound. "No, it is data." The instructor raised a thin limb. "Proceed." She did not look angry. She did not look proud. She simply spoke. "High-gravity worlds break bodies that are not ready," she said. "So humans train their bodies, Our muscles and bones adapt. It hurts. Some fail. We try again. A new hologram appeared as the instructor allowed her words to continue. Storm worlds destroy shelter, she went on. So humans rebuild? Over and over. We learn patterns. God, could, we make mistakes? People die. We remember them. The instructor's eyes flickered. And predator worlds? He asked. Lena nodded. We study what hunts us, then we hunt back. Or we outthink it. Silence pressed down on the room. A student near the front spoke. You speak as if this is personal experience. It is, Lena said. The instructor slowly descended to the floor. Human student, he said carefully. These examples come from classified survival records. How do you know this? Lena met his gaze. Because my homeworld matched all of them. Murmurs filled the room, louder now. That is not possible, someone said. Humans exaggerate, another added. The instructor raised his limb again, silencing them. Your world, he said, is rated moderate. Lena shook her head. It was rated that way by visitors who stayed briefly. They left before the real tests came. One student leaned forward. What tests? Lena did not answer right away. Her eyes lowered for a moment. Time, she said. Loss. Pressure. The instructor studied her closely. You claim this class teaches what you already lived? Yes. Then what is missing from my lesson? Lena looked around the room, at the comfortable seats, at the clean air. What comes after failure, she said. You stop your data when species collapse. Humans start counting there. The room felt colder. The instructor slowly nodded. Sit. She sat. The lesson continued, but no one listened the same way. Eyes drifted toward Lena, some with doubt, some with curiosity, some with fear. When the class ended, students gathered in small groups. Voices were sharp and fast. She was disrespectful. She was confident. She might be dangerous. Lena walked alone through the hall. The lights dimmed as evening cycle began. She stopped near a wide window, looking out at space. Behind her, soft footsteps approached. You embarrassed the instructor, a voice said. She turned. A tall student with rough gray skin stood there. His posture was tense. But, that was not my goal, Lena said. Humans do not know their place yet, he replied. You should be careful. Lena looked at him calmly. I was. He frowned. What do you mean? I did not tell them everything. He hesitated. Everything about what? She looked back at the stars, about what it really took to survive. The Academy announcement system activated. A calm voice echoed through the halls. Attention faculty. A review has been requested regarding human survival classification. The gray-skinned student stared at her. Did you cause this? Lena did not answer. Far above the academy, unseen by students, hidden sensors activated. Old data files opened. Forgotten reports resurfaced. And somewhere deep in the system, a question appeared for the first time. What if humans were never students of survival? What if they were the proof? The academy hallways were quieter than usual. Whispers followed Lena everywhere she went. Some students watched her with suspicion. Others tried to avoid her eyes. The gray-skinned student from yesterday, named *Varin, stayed close to see what she would do next. Faculty members moved quickly through the halls. Reports were being checked. Human survival records were requested for review. Some teachers frowned. Others spoke in low tones to each other. Lena did not hide. She walked straight to the lab area. Machines hummed softly and lights glowed on many surfaces. A small group of students gathered near a large screen. They were discussing the lesson from yesterday. One green-scaled student said, "She knows too much. No human should survive a storm world." Another replied, "She said, she lived it." What if it is true? Lena approached. She did not speak at first. Her eyes scanned the room. The students noticed her and moved slightly, unsure if she would join. "I can explain more," Lena said quietly. "If you want to understand survival, not just see examples." Varen crossed his arms. "Why would we trust a human? You are new here." "Because I am not here to lie," Lena said. "I only share what worked." The students hesitated. Some looked curious, some still suspicious. One of them, a small blue-winged student named Tari, tilted her head. "Show us, then." Lena nodded. She walked to a large table covered with small planetary models. Each one had different landscapes and weather systems. She picked up a model of a storm planet. "This is called Erin 5, she said. "Gravity is high. Storms are frequent. Many explorers tried to survive here. Most failed. Ads and passing times and traps of the times over the model, showing where humans had built shelters and traps. Humans observed patterns. We learned where storms would start, where it was safe to move. Each failure taught us something." Even Vareen leaned forward. Lena moved to a model of a volcanic planet. "Here, the air is poisonous. Lava flows quickly. Humans made temporary shelters and waited for safe moments. We studied chemical reactions to protect ourselves." A tall student with black scales whispered, "We never see humans adapt like this in our records." "Records are not complete," Lena said. "Visitors record what is easy to see. They leave before real danger appears." The room was silent again. The students stared. Lena's calm voice filled the space. "Survival is not strength alone," she said. "It is time, observation, patience. Humans measure success by how long we endure, not by what we lose first." A student asked, "Do you have proof?" "The proof is in the stories, in the scars, in the records of those who survived. That is all the proof anyone needs." Varen moved closer. "And the humans who died?" "They taught the others," Lena said simply. "That is how humans survive. Every mistake becomes a lesson." The group was quiet. Even students who doubted could not argue. Some notes had already been made on floating tablets. The lesson of yesterday had changed into a story of experience. A senior faculty member arrived quietly. She was tall, with silver hair and skin that shimmered faintly. Her eyes were sharp and she observed the room. "Human student," she said, "I hear you have insights the records did not provide. Explain yourself." Lana straightened. "The lesson is true, but incomplete. Species fail, yes, but humans start counting there. We survive after failure. That is what the records do not show." The faculty member studied her. Then she nodded. "Very well. There will be a practical test, a live trial on a controlled planet. All students must participate." The students exchanged nervous glances. Murmurs rose again. Varen turned to Lena. "You will fail. No human can survive a live trial like this." Lena looked at him calmly. We will see. The next day, the Academy transported the students to the trial planet. It was small, with rough terrain and unpredictable weather. Artificial storms and unstable gravity were controlled by the Academy, but the difficulty was enough to challenge the best students. Lena stepped onto the surface. Her boots sank slightly into the rough ground. She looked around. The other students were tense. Their eyes moved constantly, scanning the environment. Many whispered strategies to each other. Remember, the instructor said, survival is the goal. Observers will record all outcomes. Only the first to complete the objectives will be recognized as leaders. Lena adjusted her small pack. She carried simple tools, a knife, some energy rations, and a sensor for weather changes. She did not carry complex machines or heavy equipment. Other students laughed softly. She has nothing, Varen whispered. Lena moved forward calmly. She studied the terrain. A storm cloud swirled overhead. The gravity shifted slightly, pulling her down. Other students stumbled. Many cried out in fear. Lena did not flinch. She found a small ridge to climb. Her muscles ached slightly, but she ignored the pain. Each step was careful and calculated. The storm hit with force. Some students were thrown to the ground. Machines toppled. Sensors cracked. Lena moved between students who were struggling. She helped a small green-skinned student named Milo Myasco stabilize. Hold on to me, she said. Keep your balance. Don't fight the storm. Move with it. The students watched in surprise. Human strength was different. Not raw, but precise. Not fast, but persistent. A deep rumble shook the ground. Lava vents opened on one side. The instructor's voice came through a loudspeaker. Warning, terrain shift imminent. Students panicked. Varen yelled, We cannot survive this. Lena held her ground. Yes, we can. Follow me. She led a small group to a safer area. They climbed over rocks and avoided falling debris. When they reached a protected zone, she turned to them. Beguile. The danger teaches you. Watch the movement of the storms. Plan your steps. Work together. The students began to follow her instructions. Slowly, they learned. They moved more carefully. Some began to trust the human. Night fell on the trial planet. Students gathered near a shallow cave. Exhausted, they watched the storm rage outside. Varen finally spoke. I did not think a human could survive this. You are different. Lena nodded. Humans learn differently. We survive because we do not give up. Not because we are stronger. Not because we are faster. Because we endure. The observation drones recorded the scene. The Academy would later analyze every move, every decision. Some students had new respect. Some had fear. Lena's calm confidence had shifted the balance of the trial. Morning came. The storm calmed, but the trial was not over. The Academy announced a second phase, navigation through hostile terrain without tools. Many students panicked. Lena prepared quietly, studying the paths, listening to the wind. Tari, the small blue-winged student, whispered, Teach me. Show me how to survive like that. I will guide you, but you must watch and learn, not just follow blindly. Humans survive because we understand, not because we obey. The day passed with tense movements. Students fell. Some hurt themselves, and some learned to move with the environment. Lena stayed ahead, observing, helping, and occasionally correcting mistakes. Varen kept glancing at her. He could not deny her skill. His pride and doubt battled inside him. By the end of the day, only a few students remained unharmed and in control of the situation. Lena was among them. Her calm, steady presence had guided the group more than any equipment or training. The Academy officials watched the live data feed. Some whispered to each other. Others made notes. Human survival methods were clearly different from what they had expected. At the end of the trial, Lena and the surviving students returned to the academy. Exhausted but alive, they gathered in the debriefing room. Lena did not boast. She only smiled quietly. The instructor approached, eyes flickering with a mixture of doubt and admiration. "Human student, your methods are unusual, but effective. Perhaps humans were underestimated." Lena nodded. "The lesson is never complete until you live it. Survival is measured after the failure, not before." The other students looked at her differently, some with respect, some with new fear. The academy had begun to change its view of humans. One simple human student had turned the lesson into something far greater than a class. She had made it a report on life itself. The academy was alive with quiet tension the next morning. Lena walked through the halls, her steps calm and steady. Students whispered as she passed. Some followed her eyes, trying to understand how she remained so composed after yesterday's trial. Others avoided her completely, unsure whether to trust or fear her. The instructors gathered in a tall, glass-walled room overlooking the city. They spoke in low voices, discussing the human student. Lena had not just survived. She had led others and changed the expected outcomes of the trial. "We must prepare for the next stage," said one faculty member, his skin shimmering with faint colors. "Her methods cannot be ignored." The academy announced a new challenge. This time, the students would face a simulated hostile world with dangerous wildlife, unstable terrain, and unpredictable weather. Observers watched closely, noting every step, every decision. Lena entered the simulation zone. Ah ha ha. She scanned the environment carefully. The terrain was uneven, rocky, with sudden cliffs and shallow rivers. Distant roars echoed from unseen predators. The storm systems overhead were active, sending gusts of wind that could throw an unprepared student off balance. Other students struggled immediately. Machines failed. Scanners flickered, and panic spread. Many fell or froze in fear. Lena stayed calm. She moved with precision, stepping carefully, using the terrain to her advantage. A small green-skinned student named Milo tried to climb a steep incline but slipped. Lena reached him in time. "Grab my hand," she said. "Use the rocks to balance. Move slowly." He did as she instructed. For the first time, Milo felt confident. He followed her lead. Varen, still watching her closely, could not hide his frustration. He shouted, "This is not fair. No human can survive this." Lena turned slightly, not stopping. "Fairness does not determine survival," she said. "Understanding does." Predators appeared suddenly. They were fast, sleek, and had sharp claws. Other students panicked, running in every direction. Lena assessed the situation quickly. She grabbed a small branch and waved it in front of a predator to distract it while guiding Milo to safety. Her movements were careful and deliberate, showing no fear. The predators retreated. The other students watched, wide-eyed. None had expected a human to remain so calm. The instructors recorded every detail. Lena's approach was different. She did not attack blindly. She did not rely on machines or tools. She used observation, timing, and calculated risk. Her methods were human, not alien. Hours passed. The storm worsened, and the terrain became more dangerous. Students fell, exhausted or injured. Lena guided them to a hidden cave she had spotted earlier. Inside, they rested briefly, listening to the wind and rain outside. Tari, the blue-winged student, spoke softly. "I don't understand. How can you stay so calm? How can you survive when everything is against you?" Lena smiled faintly. "Humans survive because we keep moving, even when all seems lost. We use what we have, think ahead, and help each other. Survival is not strength. It is persistence and learning from every mistake." Baron stayed silent. He watched her, his pride battling his growing respect. Lena had shown him that humans were not the weak species he believed them to be. The storm passed slowly. The students emerged from the cave, shaken but alive. Lena led them through the remaining terrain. They crossed rivers, climbed cliffs, and avoided predators. Slowly, the group began to move more confidently. They learned to follow Lena's methods. Observe first, act carefully, think before moving. By evening, the group reached the edge of the simulation zone. Exhausted but unharmed, they looked back at the dangerous terrain they had crossed. They had survived together, guided by Lena. The instructors gathered the students for debriefing. Lena did not speak much. She only answered questions calmly, explaining the reasoning behind each decision. The students listened intently, realizing that the human had not only survived, but taught them how to survive as well. Varin approached Lena privately. "I misjudged you," he admitted. "Humans are different, not weaker, just different." "I did not see it before." Lena nodded. "Difference is not weakness, it is perspective. You survive by understanding, not by judging." The Academy officials recorded their discussion. Lena's methods and insights became the new model for future survival training. Humans, once underestimated, were now recognized for their unique abilities. Lena had not just survived, she had changed the way the Academy thought about survival. As night fell over the Academy, Lena walked alone to a high balcony overlooking the city. The stars shone brightly in the sky. She knew this was only the beginning. The challenges ahead would be greater. But humans had one advantage. They learned from every failure. They survived because they refused to give up. Somewhere deep in the Academy, old data files were being updated. Reports of previous failures were being rewritten to include human methods. Observers noted that the human student had not just participated in the trial, she had redefined it. The room hummed with quiet energy. The Academy would never be the same. Morning came quietly at the Academy. Lena walked through the halls, her steps calm and deliberate. The city outside was alive with activity. Students moved in groups, discussing yesterday's trial. Some spoke in hushed tones about her methods. Others avoided her, unsure what to think. The instructors gathered again, debating the next phase. They had witnessed Lena lead the group, survive the storm, and teach her fellow students without effort. It was clear that humans approached survival differently than other species. The faculty whispered that the next challenge would be the true test. The Academy transmitted a message to all students. A new trial would begin on a larger, uninhabited planet. This world was designed to simulate real danger, violent weather, wild predators, and unstable terrain. Communication with the academy would be limited. Survival would depend entirely on the students' own skill and teamwork. Lena prepared quietly. She checked her small pack: energy rations, a knife, a sensor, and a few basic tools. She did not carry heavy machines. Her mind, experience, and ability to adapt were her true tools. She walked to the launch bay, observing the other students. Many were tense, carrying complex devices and protective gear. Some whispered about the human who had survived the last trial. Baron approached, his face serious. This time, the danger is real. No simulation will save you. Lena looked at him calmly. The danger is always real. Preparation and observation make the difference. Activated. Students were transported to the planet's surface. The landscape was rough and wild. Sharp cliffs, deep ravines, and forests stretched as far as the eye could see. Storm clouds gathered in the sky, moving fast and unevenly. Birds with sharp beaks circled overhead, and distant roars echoed through the valleys. The students moved cautiously. Many stumbled, their machines failing or getting caught on rocks. Panic spread quickly. Lena, however, moved steadily, observing the wind, the terrain, and the behavior of predators. A small blue-winged student named Tari was struggling to cross a river. Lena approached. "Step where the rocks are stable," she instructed. "Move slowly and keep your balance." Tari followed Lena's guidance and crossed safely. A green-skinned student, Milo, shouted, "How can she do this? She is human." Lena ignored the comments. She focused on the path ahead, calculating each step and watching the environment carefully. The first predators appeared, sleek creatures with glowing eyes and sharp claws. Many students froze in fear. Lena assessed the predators quickly. She used a branch to distract one while guiding a smaller student to safety. Her movements were precise and calculated. The predators, confused, retreated for a moment, allowing the students to move past. Hours passed as the group moved through the dangerous terrain. Storms struck without warning. Trees fell, rocks tumbled, and the wind threatened to throw them off cliffs. Lena remained calm. She encouraged students to observe and adapt, not just react. Slowly, the students began to move with her guidance. They learned to watch the environment, to anticipate danger, and to trust her methods. By midday, the group reached a ridge overlooking a deep valley. A volcano in the distance was active, spewing smoke and lava. The terrain below was treacherous, with narrow paths and shifting rocks. Students hesitated, afraid to move forward. "Humans do not fear what we can observe and understand," Lena said. "We respect danger, but we do not let it stop us." She led the group down the narrow path, carefully placing each foot. Milo and Tari followed, learning how to move with patience and attention. Varen moved behind them, observing her technique, his pride mixed with admiration. As they reached the valley floor, another challenge appeared. A group of predators blocked the path, waiting for the students. Many panicked. Lena assessed the situation. She instructed some students to distract the predators with noise while guiding others around a safer route. The predators reacted as she expected, and the group moved safely past them. Night fell. The group gathered in a small cave to rest. Exhausted, they listened to the storm outside. Lena spoke quietly, teaching them how to maintain calm, how to prepare for the next day, and how to work as a team. Tari whispered, "I never thought a human could lead us like this. How do you stay so calm?" Lena smiled faintly. "Calm comes from understanding. Humans survive because we learn from every mistake, every failure. We do not stop. We observe, adapt, and move forward. Varen stayed silent, reflecting on her words. He could not deny her skill and leadership. The group had survived because of her. The Academy's records had underestimated humans, but Lena had proven their methods were effective. Morning came, bringing a new challenge: navigation through unstable terrain to reach a safe zone. Lena led the group, observing the environment carefully. Predators, sudden rock slides, and storms tested their endurance. Slowly, the students learned to rely on observation, timing, and careful planning, guided by Lena. By the end of the day, only a few students remained uninjured and in control. Lena was among them, her calm presence guiding the group. The instructors observed silently, taking notes and updating reports. Lena's methods were now recognized as effective and innovative. As the students returned to the academy, they were exhausted but alive. Lena did not boast. She simply walked with quiet confidence, her eyes forward. The instructors recorded their observations. Human survival methods had proven themselves. Lena had not only survived the trial, but had taught others to survive as well. The academy was changed. Students whispered about the human who had led them through real danger. Instructors updated records and prepared for new challenges. Lena had shown that humans were not weak, they were different, and that difference was their strength. The lessons of survival were no longer just theory. They had become a report of life itself, tested and proven on a hostile world. The academy was quiet, but tension hung in the air like a storm about to break. Lena walked through the corridors, calm as always, but she knew something had changed. The previous trials had revealed more than her skill. They had shown the instructors and students that humans survived differently. That difference was powerful. The Academy announcement system activated. Attention students and faculty. A threat has been detected approaching the Academy. All personnel are advised to prepare for emergency protocols. The students froze. Many whispered in fear. Lena kept walking steadily, observing the reactions of those around her. The threat was unknown. It had not come from a simulation. This was real. Faculty members gathered quickly. Data feed showed an unknown vessel moving through space, large, dark, and fast. It was unlike anything in the Academy's records. The council convened immediately. Panic was low but visible. The officials were trained, but the unknown force created tension. "Human student Lena," said a senior official, her skin silver and eyes sharp. "We need your insight. You have proven understanding in survival where others failed. We may need that skill now." Lena stepped forward calmly. "What is the threat?" "Unknown attackers," the official said. "We cannot predict their tactics. They have avoided detection until now. They may overwhelm the academy." Lena nodded. "We survive by understanding first, observing, learning, acting only when ready." The council looked at each other, then agreed to follow her advice. Lena was asked to speak to all students and faculty. She explained calmly, "Panic is not survival. We need strategy. We will use what we have. Each of us has skills. Together, we will adapt and resist. Every mistake they make is a lesson. Every reaction they give can be used against them." The students began to organize. Humans and aliens alike listened to her plan. Those who had doubted her before now followed her without question. Lena divided the students into groups, assigning tasks according to their skills. Observation teams, defense teams, scouts, and medics were formed. Each group had clear objectives. Baron approached. You really think we can stop them? Lena looked at him steadily. We survive first. Defeat is not the goal. Endurance is. They will learn what we can do. The threat approached quickly. Sensors detected massive energy surges and rapid movement. Students and faculty worked together, placing shields, activating defense mechanisms, and preparing the academy for battle. Lena moved calmly among them, observing, adjusting, giving advice. Her methods were not about raw strength, but precision and timing. The first wave hit. Unknown ships attacked the outer shields. Alarms blared. Many students froze, some panicked. Lena directed them. Focus. Use your observations. Move when you see the openings. Trust your instincts and your training. Using human-inspired strategies, students coordinated attacks and defenses in ways the attackers did not expect. They observed the enemy's movements and predicted their actions. Lena guided them, calm and deliberate. She positioned scouts to anticipate maneuvers. She suggested decoys and distractions that confused the attackers. Every action was precise. Hours passed. The battle continued. The attackers were strong and fast, but the Academy's defenses were effective because of the humans' unique strategies. Students adapted quickly under Lena's guidance. Mistakes were corrected immediately. Injuries were treated efficiently. Every move counted. By night, the attackers began to retreat. They had underestimated the students, the humans, and the combined adaptability of the Academy's defenses. Lena observed silently, analyzing their withdrawal. The students were exhausted but alive. They had survived the first wave. The council convened again. "Human student," said the senior official, "your methods have proven invaluable. You have saved lives and preserved the Academy. The records will reflect this." Lena nodded. Survival is never just about strength. It is about learning, adapting, and enduring. The next day, the Academy worked to reinforce defenses and prepare for any further threats. Lena trained small groups, teaching observation, patience, and strategic movement. Students who had doubted her before now actively sought her guidance. The Academy realized that humans had survived not by chance, but by method. Their history of learning through life, failure, and endurance was a lesson no simulation could teach. Weeks passed. The threat did not return immediately, but the Academy was ready. Lena continued her training and guidance. She moved quietly, calmly, leading by example. Students were stronger, wiser, and more coordinated. The Academy had learned to respect human survival methods. One evening, Lena stood on a balcony looking at the stars. The threat was still out there, somewhere in space. But the Academy and its students had changed. They had learned to endure, to adapt, to survive as humans had always done. The instructors and council members held meetings, updating training programs. The Academy's records now included detailed accounts of human survival methods, guided by Lena's actions. She had not just survived trials, she had rewritten the lessons of endurance for all species. Students whispered among themselves about the human who had led them through real danger, who had taught them calm in the face of fear, who had survived when others might have failed. Lena remained quiet, observing, teaching, preparing for whatever came next. She did not take notes. She had no need. The lesson was already her report, written in her actions, proven by survival. The Academy had changed forever. Students, faculty, and even observers from distant worlds now understood that humans survived not because they were the strongest or the fastest, but because they learned from failure, adapted, and never stopped enduring. Lena had shown them the truth, and the universe had taken notice. The report was complete, written not in books or tablets, but in life itself, and it would guide generations to come.